Alright, timestamp. July 20. You're doing great, buddy. Yeah, you almost had him. July 25th, 2025. Oh, there's the other one. It's like 6:30 p.m. So it has been exactly a week since I've heard from the septic company. I got big mounds of dirt in my front yard, or in the front yard. Got in the habit of saying my. And actually, it's interesting because we're having to pull all the, all the documents in regards to um, everything regarding my parents' portfolios, properties, deeds, all that kind of stuff. Having to work with the lawyers because we've got to go through my mom's will. And I know, again, just about everything there is going to get transferred over to my dad. It's fine. I'm not actually. I know I'm going to get it eventually, and I know that still makes me sound like a gold digging kid. But I've got enough put back that I'm okay. We're ramping up eBay. I've actually got probably about 50 or 100 lots that I've assembled that I need to take pictures of and list. Hopefully for this weekend. I don't know that I'm going to get all of them, but we make, my wife and I, sometimes we have $10, $20 weeks, sometimes we have $300, $400 weeks. Because we've got thousands of dollars of inventory from the shop. Funny. And Scrappy's going the wrong way. Good game, Genie. I don't want to discourage you, but he'll probably catch on eventually. Maybe not. But we've got to get affairs in order. We've got to do all the legal paperwork one way or t'other. Still haven't heard back from the facility where my dad is, so I am going on faith that bump on the head, he's fine. Because I would think someone would have called me if something had gone worse. I'm probably going to call tomorrow and check in with, because I think their day nurse is usually there in the afternoon. I'm probably going to check with her tomorrow afternoon just to, don't hand him the phone because he's going to beg for me to send him a chopper so he can go raise horses in Pennsylvania, and I'm not ready for that conversation again. Is there a third bunny? Because I know the two of them hit the fence already, but I'm hearing something underneath that trailer. And Scrappy's over there. That's curious. As Tom Baker would say, ah. I learned a lot of one-word things from Doctor Who growing up. I still love Peter Davison's yes. When he's sort of distracted and someone asks him a question and he does that enthusiastic turn, the little hair flip. Yes. Yes, the planet will be destroyed tomorrow and there's nothing we can do. Everyone in the TARDIS? Tegan? It's not right, Doctor. There's nothing we can do. Get in the TARDIS. Anyway, good luck. So, the paperwork stuff that we did in 2023, because at that point my mom was enthusiastic about, this is like before that last stroke that she had in May of 23 when her personality started to shift and she started not being able to read documents without going, what is this? I think that was kind of the final nail in the headed towards cognitive decline coffin. My wife and I have been comparing notes the past month or two, trying to figure out where things went sideways and what went wrong and all that. And we think that stroke she had in May, she had a pacemaker, and it got infected. And as they were extracting it in the surgery, she had like a mini stroke. And after that, she started being a little bit more bizarre, very, she had some outbursts of anger that were very uncharacteristic. And that's when she stared at little gnats. Oh, I gotcha. That's when she stared at a power bill for a minute and went, "What is this?" I told you about that one before. But we turned in a whole lot of, we did wills and stuff in 23. Pix and I did one, they did one. And we did all kind of, that's when we did the power of attorney forms and all that, just to make sure that if Dad's dementia got out of control and Mom's health made her incapacitated, we could take charge. Not that that's going to happen. It happened. But something interesting, because I looked at the property records in 2023 with the paperwork that got filed hither and thither. I got put on the paperwork as a part owner of the property. Just discovered this the other day, pulling up records and information for the lawyer. And I'm looking at that and I was just like, okay. I've been, not that I would have done anything nefarious, I'm still not going to do anything nefarious, but I'm technically one of two now, because Mom, I'm one of 3 owners of this property. Now the reason that's a big deal for me, twofold, actually, 2 reasons. One, my wife and I have been concerned for the past 2 years, because I walked away from a good job that was about to become a great job to come to their rescue. There has been that knife in the back feeling for 2 years now of, after we got accused of breaking in and stealing things that, obviously we didn't steal. Did I just get so incredibly screwed? You know what I mean? Did I walk away from not just a job, but realistically a retirement career, only to get, not only lose that, but also get basically screwed out of any hope of inheritance? And I know it sounds gold diggery, but if I'm sacrificing a $100,000 a year job, 120 plus, frankly, please don't slam that door on me too, because that's beyond insult to injury. Because now I am looking at, cat food when I'm 70, all because I did the right thing. So, with everything that went sideways, and because my mom and my dad with cognitive decline, we got Chuck the Wonder Idiot and a few other people whispering in their ear, who are still really great people as far as, they're concerned, because the kids, broke in and stole stuff. They turned out to betray, us, which, my feelings on that. There was that thought of, okay, so let's say we once again come to the rescue and start doing all the work of getting the house fixed, like DCF wants us to. And that reminds me, I need to, I think I was calling her Holly. I need to send Holly the, I've got some paperwork that she was asking for, and I finally got a hold of it. I need to send that to her, because she's not been blowing me up, but she's been asking nicely once every week or two, hey, I need this form. So I'm trying to help them close out their investigation, because they won't be filing charges against my mom. I don't know that they can file charges against me at this point. I'm hoping not. I don't think they can. But she needs, the stuff from the attorney and whatnot, saying that I'm now in charge and Dad's in a home, problem solved-ish, but they still expect me to fix the things at the house because it's still safety and health related stuff. But there was that, man. I got these little gnats, man. I had that back of my brain tickle that, like Chuck, who I think was trying to play all sides of the situation, trying to be everybody's friend. There was that nagging thought of, what if he convinced my parents to do another will, that he was, the lost son they never had. Screw Marcus. He tried to steal everything from you. Whatever. What if, when everything's said and done, we get everything fixed, he steps forward and says, "Oh, I've got a will. I own it all. Get out. I own the property. Thanks for fixing it for me." Or that kind of thing. There was actually that concern of, wouldn't that just be? I just prepared it for him, who did nothing but enable my parents into their own destruction. Rabbit. Scrappy's down by the fence. You guys have got skills. So that was kind of a concern. We're going to spend a year or two. He's only let it be a year. Going through the rubble, doing the work. And then this asshole who helped my dad not get help, and was more part of the problem than part of the solution. Walks in, says, "I have a will that they signed in 24. I own the house. Get out." Or something like that. That would just be an unfair Woody Allen kind of twist to the story that would just piss me right off. But yeah, no, seeing my name on the document, on the property record from 23, I'm like, okay. At least where the house is concerned, I don't know about the investment accounts and stuff like that, but at least where the house is concerned, I'm safe. I'm safe because they couldn't will away property that I am an owner of, if that makes sense. So I was like, okay, I got things hitting the back of my hand. I'm trying to hold my phone. Stop it, guys. So that was actually really encouraging, just from okay, I don't have to worry about doing 6 months or a year worth of work and then suddenly getting kicked out of the house that I've moved my family into, or what have you. We've been doing all this work, and now suddenly we just got a new knife wound in the back. From my parents who, one is gone and one hypothetically, if he's still around, because he's in final stage dementia, I never know what's going to happen. He's starting to have some speech problems here and there, stuff that I notice. He's not going to be able to refute, have an opinion on. It won't matter. I may be his guardian as far as the courts, but I can be homeless and still be his guardian, right? The court doesn't mind. Just make right decisions for him, and good luck panhandling at the gas station. So seeing that document was kind of I'm okay, I'm safe. I'm safe. It's a real nice feeling knowing that the place where I'm probably moving my family to isn't going to get ripped out from under me. Okay. Just first world problems, right? But everybody is concerned about, food, shelter. And this was a back of my mind concern regarding shelter. So that happened. And also, quite frankly, it does mean that repairs to the house, my parents' estate handles the bills on those. Because this is that like legal muckety muck. Legitimate repairs to the house and property, my parents foot the bill for that. Because I'm not expected to pay for the upkeep of their property. I'm supposed to manage their property, but it doesn't mean that I have to write the checks from my account, so to speak, as I understand the law. But it also means the other thing that I'm talking about, if I wanted to put solar on the house, as part owner, I can actually sign off on that. I'd have to pay for that because it's not a repair, it's a modification that I want that they didn't necessarily want. But I can legally do it because I'm a part owner and I do want to get solar. My dad staunchly against it because he talked to a guy and it ruins your roof. If it's not done correctly, yes. But there are lots of people out there that have solar on their roof and it didn't ruin their roof. But with my dad, and this definitely was in the past couple years, he was more open-minded before the monsters started moving in, you know. What he knows is fact. Not open to other opinions. What he knows is fact. Any dispute is unfounded, incorrect, etc. Dementia. It's just where we are. So I'm going to call the septic company here in a bit and leave another message on their voicemail, I expect, and let them know that we're at the 1 week anniversary of them not actually communicating with me at all. I don't know where that's going to go. But anyway, I'm getting a lot done. Just not sure where I am on that project. So, yeah. Make it a great day.